I want to say a few words about this play, Waiting for Godot. Now, this play is absurdist, and absurdist authors use the absurd in order to make observations about life that really aren't so absurd, but they are still pointing out to the ridiculousness of why we cling to certain ideas and certain thoughts and even certain actions when they're counterproductive or they are delusional, for lack of a better word. I was trying to find a better word, but I can't find a better word. And this is what this play, Waiting for Godot, is about. And you might say, oh, about what, Gwen? I've read it and I don't understand anything about what this play is trying to say. This play is talking about the futility of life and the actions that we go through in order to try to give meaning to life. Thoreau said that men leave lives of quiet desperation. Almost forgot my quote there. And Vladimir and Estragon are not exactly quiet, but they are desperate, even though they might not realize it or might not vocalize it. They are desperate. So, this play, you have two men, two bums, hobos, homeless people, we would term them in modern times, who are sitting on the side of the road waiting for Godot. And while they are waiting, Patso and Lucky come by and provide them with a little bit of break, but otherwise it is sheer monotony of what they are doing. And they have pinned their hopes on Mr. Godot, and they are certain that he is going to come today. Now we find later in the play, the boy comes and the boy says, sorry, Mr. Godot can't come today, but he will come tomorrow. What Beckett is saying is that humans spend their entire lives waiting for something to happen. And it can be on a worldly level. We wait for the right partner, the right husband, the right wife or boyfriend, girlfriend. We wait for a promotion at work. We wait to get a job. And we pin our whole lives on these, hoping for these outcomes. Now, there is a higher level thinking about this. And no doubt you have noticed that Godot, and I do pronounce it as Godot, has G-O-D in it. And this poem is also about waiting for heaven and for God to act. People, Christians, but not only Christians, but people of other religions as well, pin so much emphasis on the afterlife that they are willing to accept substandard positions or situations, I should say, in this life in hopes of being rewarded with heaven. Karl Marx said that religion is the opium of the masses. And this expresses the same kind of sentiment that Godot is saying in this play, that Beckett is saying in this play, that humans are willing to accept dire circumstances because they think they're going to be rewarded in the end. And so Estragon and Vladimir are sitting on the side of the road waiting. Maybe they're waiting for death. Maybe Godot symbolizes death, and yet he is not coming today. Now, you notice I said that I pronounce Godot, because that's how I was taught to pronounce it. I first read this play when I was where you are in a community college. So long we called it a junior college. And I had a basic grasp on what it meant at that time, but I've always loved this play. As a matter of fact, one of my absurdist things to do is to, when I'm leaving Walmart and there's people sitting on the benches, I'll often look at them and I'll say, are you waiting for Godot? And of course, no one ever knows what that means, but hey, I do it again, just in case sometime there might be someone who is familiar with the play and will say, yes, I am waiting for Godot. But I really digress there. I had a professor when I was getting my master's degree who saw this production in London and said they pronounce the name as God ought, which gives a whole nother spin and validates the idea that these men are truly waiting for death, and they're waiting for God to come, and they're waiting for God to save them. But God doesn't come, Mr. Godot doesn't come, and they are left waiting. Going back to the futility of life, it just stretches across all aspects of these men's existence, if we can call it that. They are alive, yes, but are they living or are they existing? And they are very confused because at one point, Vladimir and Estragon go back to, they lapse into discussing what they were doing yesterday. And one of them says, and I don't have the play open here before me, one of them says, I think we were here yesterday. And the other one says, were we? Are we? And they start talking about the landmarks around them. And then one of them says, I think we'll come back tomorrow. And they will come back tomorrow. We might not be sitting around on the side of the road consciously saying that we are waiting for Godot, but how many humans spend their life in that quiet desperation, and how many humans put their hopes and their aspirations in what is going to happen tomorrow, while accepting the monotony or the boredom or even the abuse that is going on today. So overall, that is what this play is about. So you're going to be writing a short paper on this. So I've given you some ideas and some things to look for in the play and in writing the play. So consider those aspects of what does this poem mean? Who is Godot? Who or what do Vladimir and Estragon symbolize and represent? What do Pazzo and Lucky represent? And is Lucky lucky? He's been taken to a slave market, and yet he's not breaking away from this man who's holding them. So what does that say about our interactions with humans? So think about these things as you consider your paper. And if you've not read the novel already, or excuse me, the play already, think about these things as you are reading the play and the symbolism of those aspects. I'm going to stop now. It takes forever to upload these videos to YouTube now, but if I think of something later, I'll make another video and I will add it.